Well, Adam Gowans, what are we going to see in this one? I tell you what, you guys leave it to the last minute to make your move in that final lap, don't you?
What are we going to see? I don't know. It's really hard to strategise at this racetrack particularly.
Thanks, mate.
You can't get away, and we saw in race 1 there was a good battle. Race 2, the guys behind battled, so let's hope that happens again for me, but for the fans out there, maybe let's see a good race. So.
And in that last one, you came from, I think, last to 5th, so you know how to handle these cars pretty well.
Yeah, it was a pretty spectacular race. A lot of action out there. It's high risk. There's a bit of rubbing going on. We had to re-wheel line the car after that race, so let's hope it's a bit cleaner, but we have some really good racing, so yeah, good fun.
Go and enjoy.
Let's have a look at the grid. As we said before, Adam Gowans, he's the man. He's been right at the front all weekend, fastest in practice, pole position, and he's going to find himself on pole position for the final.
Alongside the defending champ, Darren Chamberlain, there is Adam Ubergang, race winner from yesterday. Adrian Flack, he's been good all weekend. Pingle likely to be taking that points haul away from today. Tony Quinn, the series owner, row 4. Over the page, we saw a fair bit of Ben Walsh with his bodywork coming off earlier. Miskovic was turned around in that last race. He'll start row 7. And further back to James Duckworth, who is carrying one of our onboards in the RDA brakes car. And ironic, because he's been having some brake issues this weekend. Hopefully he's got them sorted for this last race. Ruth Bowler starting off the back of the grid, and no Mark Griffith for this final race. 12 laps is due to be the journey, and there is still plenty of wind pushing down that back straight, which will mean that the slipstreaming will be at a premium here.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that yesterday in race 2. It was a great slipstream battle down the back straight, but what happened was there was no wind. So today with that headwind into the back straight, it's going to be massive, that toe. And it's going to be a real part of the strategy of getting into the race. John Reynolds there at the back. I wonder at what point did he realise he jumped the start when he was passing cars in 5th gear and they were still sitting there? I'm not sure.
Okay, so towards the grid they move. We've got Gowans on the right-hand side, who's been very good at the starts. Darren Chamberlain could probably move forward a couple of feet there, but you don't really know when you're in these cars.
Oh, he's given a fair bit away there. I reckon he could probably see the line if he moved it up a little bit. He's given a lot away, but let's see how we go.
We're an hour away from race 6 of the VH Supercar Championship, but we're going to focus right now on the Aussie racing cars. Final race for the weekend, and Chamberlain's got a bolter of a start. Can he squeeze over in front of Gowans? He might be able to stick around the outside. Gowans laid on a brake side by side still as they go through turn 2. The battle for the lead is a good one. Further back through the pack, everyone avoiding carnage, and it is the Camaro that has taken the lead. Nice work by the defending series champ. Chamberlain will lead us down to the hairpin for the first time, and that headwind that'll be on the opposite direction is now a tailwind, and it's pushing Gowans to the lead.
So Gowans jumps straight away down the inside of Darren Chamberlain. Maybe it's a bit of a strategy there of Darren Chamberlain to be actually a little bit back, sitting there, the tyre grip or the black marks where he can get a decent start, because he got a really good jump. And obviously Gowans, he just jumped straight to it, but have a look at this. There's that toe happening down the back straight, and Chamberlain wants to be back in the lead again.
It's almost like Chamberlain was even maybe feathering the throttle there a little bit. He goes defensive now to block off Adam Ubergang, the man from Toowoomba who won the first race of the weekend. Also took away a win, I should say, over at Highlands Motorsport Park, and he's got Adrian Flack right in there. I hope this goes for all 12 laps. If it does, it'll be exciting.
We've seen across most of the races this weekend, this front group of 5. Adam Gowans at the front, Chamberlain, Ubergang, Flack and Pingle. These are the front 5 that have been bolting away from the field and putting on fantastic racing. And it seems to be happening the same way again in this race.
Gowans needs to lower his eyes and break the slipstream. That's the plan. And if Ubergang and Chamberlain start fighting, that will give him a chance to do so. There's Flack up the inside. Nice work. 3rd position. Now, has he dropped the toe here? That's the question. By the way, very cool lid. I like that.
Absolutely. He's got a bit of a gap there back to Gowans, so that toe has got to be a bit closer than that. As you can see, Ubergang and Flack. Now Pringle's actually getting the double toe around the outside as well. So that little move down at the hairpin cost Flack a bit of time, and Ubergang's now got up into 3rd place.
The good news for Gowans is by not finishing in the top 2 in that last race, he's had one of the restrictors taken off. So he's only got 1 restrictor on that car now, which means that he's got about 2% more power, or 3% more power roughly. That is availability. You heard him telling Kylie King in that pre-race interview that he had to do a fair bit of work to the car after using the bumpers to get to the front of the field in that reverse handicap race.
Well, by the looks of it, he's using that extra 2 or 3% to his advantage at the moment. He's actually pulling a little gap. He's done a 2.6. He's 4 tenths faster than P2, which was Darren Chamberlain. Ubergang now up in a 2nd. But he's actually, cleared out nearly a 2nd in 2 laps.
Has Ubergang got an answer for the leader. After winning the first race, he's going to have a problem hanging on to second here because Chamberlain's got an almighty tow going on. Let's check out the replay of that start, and it was a good one for the Sticks Camaro. Graciously given to him to drive by the series owner, Tony Quinn, after he smashed his own car up in New Zealand. A nasty crash hitting the bridge. And let's have a look at this, looking across at Gowans, maybe just spinning the rears a little bit. Not quite the perfect start.
It's definitely a good jump by Darren Chamberlain. He got the power down well, nice and smooth, and got the car to accelerate. Then he found Gowans up the inside into turn one, but he still managed to lead down into the hairpin. But obviously, Gowans' thing is flying. Look at that. And Ubergang's actually pulled a bit of a gap on Darren Chamberlain as well.
So Gowans, like we were saying earlier, based in Devonport, not too far away from where we're racing on the coast. It's got the Gowans Motor Group up there, and a couple of the mechanics that work for the business are offering their time to work on the car this weekend. They've been busy, having to change out some right-hand front suspension and steering componentry after race one, and then some bodywork damage in that last race. And it's a shame that he's only doing one race in the championship, this one, on his home soil. Oh, here we go, here's some three-wide action. Fighting out of sixth position, these guys. And Tony Quinn up the inside, maybe some contact there. Stevenson on the outside in the Hertz number 88. And Benny Walsh, the Queenslander, just leans on him a little bit. Keeps the Miss Moneypenny's silver Aussie racing car looking fairly pristine.
So Stevenson's dropped about 3 positions in that little move down the back straight. Stevenson in the Hertz Nissan Altima there. He was quickest in practice 1 on Friday in the wet, so it was good to see him very competitive in those conditions. And as you can see in Aussie racing cars, you make that little mistake, one person slips through, there's 3 or 4 will follow him.
On the outside will be Stevenson. Can he outbreak the VIP Pet Foods Quinn car? Not quite. Hopefully, it'd be cool if Kent Quinn can pass 1 or 2 guys here and get up to where his dad is in the blue Mustang. We'll see a father v son duel. Walsh pulls out of the toe and will swing around the outside at turn 5. Who's going to be the bravest under brakes here? Meanwhile, his teammates just made the move stick on Chamberlain. And, oh, a bit twitchy. Quinn gives him some room. I think he saw him twitching and thought he's going to be coming over and hitting me in a second. I better take it a little bit wider.
Better give him a bit more room, yeah, absolutely. But it's right in the front there. It's interesting to watch. Ubergang's actually gone and done the fast lap in the last lap of the race. So the battle at the front's still going on, whilst we're watching the battle here for P6, 7 and 8.
Chamberlain again now, up behind Flack. Tailwind pushing these cars in this direction. It's been catching people out all day, even in the V8 Supercars Practice 4 session. We saw a lot of cars run wide down there, courtesy of that big tailwind. And now it becomes a headwind. More so when you take the right-hander here through the sweeper, which is flat in these cars, that's when the wind will really hit you.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not a big wind, but when you sort of come under the bridge down to the hairpin, you can feel it pushing the car. You get on the brakes about the same spot you did the day before. All of a sudden you find the car's not stopping. You've got about 4 or 5 k's an hour more. And then you get in the back straight. It actually helps you a little bit in the braking zone at the end of the back straight.
This is a great battle right now. Hingle hasn't been doing too much passing this weekend. He's been in risk management mode. I think he can sense that he's going to take the championship lead here, with Craig Woods all the way back down in 18th right now. So it's looking pretty good to grab a huge points haul here. All he needs to do is keep the Lockyer Video Easy car out of drama, and he should be able to not maybe put it on the podium, but at least take the points lead. He's in the yellow car on the outside. He doesn't want to make contact with anyone right now. He's thinking championship.
Braking hard down the hairpin there. Again, there are 2 pedal race cars. So you brake with your left foot in the Aussie race car, and then you obviously accelerate with the right foot. There's a little clutch pedal that sits up against the firewall, and you only use that around the pits really, but you can see Flack now, he's really got the toe down the back straight, but will he pass? He's going to wait, he's going to hold on. He's got 6 laps to go, so what he's got to do is position himself, work out which lap he wants to be in front, where he wants to lead, whether he has to think about giving the lead away or stay behind Chamberlain.
It's like being tailgated down the freeway, but at about 200 kilometres per hour. So much trust involved in each other when you're doing that.
Well, obviously, all understand each other, where they brake, how they drive the car. They've been racing hard all weekend like this. And it is. It's a fair bit of trust with your competitor to make sure that, you know, you understand where they're going to be on the track, how they're going to do things, so you can make your decisions around that.
And I guess trusting their consistency to break at the same point that they did the last lap, because you're pretty much committed. Well, old Rinken's off in the Ultima. He's had a couple of excursions this weekend. And, oh, we've got another one off. That's one of the AU Falcons with the Variety Group sponsorship. And onto the racetrack goes Brendan Tucker. He was excluded from qualifying for coming in underweight. And, oh, Greg Miskovich also getting caught up. And, oh, that's nasty. Wowee, that could have been a lot bigger, actually. We had a rollover down there last year at that same point. And there goes Rinken, all in his lonesome down there. Nothing but him and sheep at that part of the racetrack right now. There are the leaders. Ivy Gang has broken this pack from behind him, but he can't seem to get onto Gowan's rear bumper at the moment.
Ivy Gang's actually gone and done the fastest lap, and then on that last lap, Adam Gowans has actually responded and gone a half a tenth quicker again. So those two at the front, that gap just on 1.8 seconds, and there's not much in it, but this is the real battle here for third place. Darren Chamberlain's got the wind pushing him down the front straight. Can he go around the outside?
Oh, Pingle thought about it. No. The good thing about this battle too is this is also a battle for the final step on the podium. Chamberlain, 243 points at the moment, should be doing enough to step onto the third step, but if Pingle was to get involved, that might change things. Like making it difficult, but he had the mumbo to get around the outside.
Held it flat, round the outside, he did, and he's put himself in the great spot for the braking zone. Pingle just sitting back there wondering whether he's going to inherit something here, because these two can take each other out the way they go.
If that was to happen, he would actually inherit probably a podium for the whole weekend. At the moment, it's Chamberlain who's going to take that final step. Unless Flack can try and get this back. And I hope that Pingle gets in front of Chamberlain as well. That's what he needs to take that podium at the moment. Meanwhile, Gowan's 2.1 second lead. Ubigang in second. And then this fantastic treble fighting for the final step on the podium.
Number of different lines down here at the hairpin. You either go the real tight line down into the apex, or you run the car higher. So Chamberlain's gone right down to the apex. When you run the car high, it actually helps with the braking. It helps you go deeper under brakes. We've got
Miskovich's car after the dramas. Doors and bonnets hanging off it. It's just another day in the Aussie Racing Car Series. Back to the battle for third. Chamberlain's hanging onto it. Here comes Flack once more now up the inside. Who's got the brakes? It'll be Flack. They've swapped that spot numerous times now, but still not enough for Flack to get onto the podium. I think he needs Pingle to get around Chamberlain here if he wants that to happen. Not impossible. We just have 2 laps to go. Oh, I love the way they lift the left front up at the exit of turn 2. That's really cool.
Harder on acceleration. And now we've got lap traffic in there as well. There's Ruth Bowler in the old 34 Ford. So she's in between our first and second place at the moment. And now Chamberlain's going to have to go around the outside again. We talked about the different lines you can take down into the hairpin. You're looking for good braking distance. You're looking for good drive onto the back straight. So using a high line actually helps the acceleration and actually makes your braking distance, or what your acceleration down to that corner, a lot longer. So you can move your braking distance down and you can actually get a good run on the back straight. Chamberlain now, he's coming back with that toe again into that headwind, and he'll have to go around the outside again.
Oh, that was
Flack
close.
Squeezing him to the outside. And this is at over 220 k's an hour, so this is pretty exciting stuff.
Now does Pingle get involved? He can sense a spot here. Oh, it was close. He had to use the curb to avoid making contact as our race leader starts the final lap. This is a good battle for third. And I think they're going to catch Ruth Bowler here on the last lap, so there will be traffic to play a part in this.
And this is the strategy. Has Flack led the wrong... Oh, he's made that little mistake, which has really hurt him because he actually put himself in a position.
Mistake or trouble? No, I think it was just a mistake. He's not lost too much car speed as a result, but that'll cost him that spot on the podium now. That looks like it's done now. It'll go to Darren Chamberlain in the Camaro. Hopefully a good omen for Shane Van Gisbergen later. We're inside the last hour before the race. And his little version of the racetrack, or the race car out there at the moment, is on for a podium in the hands of Darren Chamberlain. But meanwhile, it's Adam Gowans who is looking to take the race win and the round. Unfortunately, it's the only round that he's going to be doing this year, the 2009 champion. Last corner for the Gowans Motor Group, Valvoline Sin Power car. He's got his parents and his wife who was expecting, I might add, in July. So good luck with all of that, because we're not going to see too much of him in the series, but he will take the race and round. Congratulations to Tasmanian Adam Gowans. Adam Ubergang home for second for the round and the race. Chamberlain home for third for both race and round as well. And I'm very impressed with the show from the Aussie racing cars this weekend. We've seen so many passing moves, lots of slipstreaming, and some very exciting finishes.
It's been great battles over the weekend, but Adam Gowans, a local from Tasmania, he's proven to be the man to beat, hasn't he, really? He's all over it this weekend, and they're saluting to the crowd, saying thank you very much, guys, for supporting Aussie race cars and the fantastic racing.
Woods, the series leader coming into this event, has climbed his way up a little bit. We'll see that in a second. It's Gowans who finishes on top. As the officials lend a hand down there, they're happy with what they've seen. Adam Ubergang will be second, Darren Chamberlain third. Adrian Flack doing a great job this weekend, but fell off the back of that pack just there at the very end in fifth, and his teammate won that battle back there in sixth.